New videos every day.
Recently, I did a video about detoxification and how to do a detox diet, and some of you were a little skeptical. A few of you left comments complaining that the conventional medical establishment doesn't recognize the benefit of detoxification and that there's really no scientific proof that there's any health benefit to doing a detox diet. Is there any scientific evidence that a person can benefit from doing a detoxification or cleanse? Are detox diets just complete BS? Are we being constantly bombarded by toxins? And if so, what exactly are these toxins? Why doesn't the medical establishment acknowledge the benefits of detoxification? In this video, we're going to take a common sense look at detox and cleansing, and we're going to answer those questions. The first point I'd like to make is that Western medicine does acknowledge the existence of toxins. Both the FDA and the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, have guidelines and regulations in place aimed to limit the amount of toxins we're exposed to. Western medicine also recognizes the benefits of detoxification to the extent that we have poison control centers and medical detox programs that help people to come off of recreational or even prescription drugs. The main difference between conventional medicine's view of toxicity and alternative medicine's view of toxicity is a matter of acute poisoning versus the long-term health benefits or degeneration due to an accumulated exposure to different toxins. But conventional medicine and alternative medicine still have different views on toxicity. Conventional medicine is more concerned with acute poisoning, such as when you're about to keel over and die due to arsenic poisoning. The doctor will recognize that and try to treat that toxicity. Alternative medicine, on the other hand, recognizes that the accumulation of toxins over time can lead to negative health problems or long-term degeneration of your health. If you went to a doctor, for instance, with problems in your thyroid, they would probably ignore the possibility that heavy metal toxicity could be causing those problems. They're more likely to prescribe you some medications or hormone therapy that will seek to lessen the severity of your symptoms. So don't buy into the idea that conventional medicine doesn't recognize the problem of toxins. It certainly does. Think about how many celebrities have died due to drug use, and some of that is prescription drug use. Coroners will often do toxicity scans during an autopsy to determine a cause of death. And conventional medicine has also recognized that many substances are toxic. For example, carcinogens, substances that are known to cause cancer. The mainstream or conventional model of medicine is called allopathic medicine. And by definition, allopathic medicine uses pharmacological active agents, medications, and physical interventions, surgery, to treat and suppress symptoms, disease processes, and unhealthy conditions. In other words, allopathic medicine uses medications and surgery as their primary form of treatment for diseases and disorders. And if this is your philosophical basis of treatment, then it's pretty hard to acknowledge and treat chronic toxicity. Why? Because allopathic medicine treats disease by putting medications into the body, but chronic toxicity would be treated by taking things out of the body. While you can charge somebody money to give them a substance to put into their body, and you can make a hefty profit selling your drugs, how do you charge someone for telling them to eat less crappy food, or do a juice fast, or to give up drinking Coke and coffee for a month? So there just isn't a whole lot of profit to be made in selling detoxification diets. And so pharmaceutical companies just aren't motivated to do clinical trials to test the effectiveness of detox diets. So allopathic medicine doesn't recognize the benefits of detoxification diets because there aren't clinical trials. And there aren't clinical trials because there's really not a profit to be made in selling detoxification diets. Because detoxification procedures usually consist of nothing more than altering your diet a little bit, or exercising, or sweating in a sauna. Since you can't patent natural organic foods, exercise, or nutrients, there just isn't a whole lot of incentive for them to do research on the benefits of detoxification. So what is a toxin? A toxin is any non-nutrient substance that interacts with the body and alters its normal functioning. In other words, it's not a protein, it's not a fat or a carbohydrate, it's not water, vitamin, or mineral, and yet it still interacts with and can create a change in the body. These substances inhibit, alter, or encourage natural processes in the body. When a substance inhibits a vital process and a person dies, we call this poisoning. But not all toxins have such an abrupt and immediate effect. Long-term exposure to certain substances may still cause changes in your body's processes, and over time you may develop a chronic disease, you may become ill, or you may exhibit unfavorable symptoms over which you'll end up seeing a doctor. And sometimes the changes caused by toxic substances are considered desirable. After all, people like the way that they feel when they take a recreational drug. And in some cases, doctors may prescribe a particular substance that affects a natural process in the body. For example, an acid reflux drug that is combating the natural process of indigestion, or when an antihistamine is given to combat the natural process of congestion without actually treating the true cause of that congestion. In case you haven't figured it out, all drugs, whether they're medications or recreational, are actually toxins. They're non-nutrient substances that affect a natural process in the body. And allopathic medicine is obsessed with trying to make people healthy by giving them drugs, medications, toxins. I mean, how did we end up in a society where we're trying to get healthy by ingesting more toxins? So it really isn't surprising that allopathic medicine isn't too keen on research supporting the benefits of detoxification, when after all, their bread and butter is selling drugs or selling toxins. You don't see companies like Coca-Cola and Pepsi funding studies to prove the link between drinking soda and obesity. And you're not going to see pharmaceutical companies funding studies that deal with toxicity and detox diets. And most of these studies in peer-reviewed journal articles are actually funded by pharmaceutical companies. So if you're not seeing a lot of clinical trials about the benefits of detoxing, that's why. Now, it might seem like a radical statement to some, but it's the truth. In 2004, a company called Healthgrades examined over 37 million patient records and estimated that 195,000 people die every year due to medication errors. Whether they were given the wrong medication or given something with adverse reactions, that's 195,000 deaths every year caused by conventional medicine. And the most common form of attempted suicide is medication overdose, because medications are toxins. At this point, people are exposed to higher quantities of toxins than ever before in history. There are only a few things that can actually cause us to become ill and diseased. Those things are injury, nutritional deficiencies, toxicity, and infection. As time goes on, more and more disease states and illnesses are being discovered to be caused by toxicity. And in time, allopathic medicine will be forced to acknowledge the dangers of toxicity because right now, it's staring everyone in the face. So where do all these toxins come from? And what are all these toxins exactly? At this point, our food and our water is filled with toxins. And that will be the subject of our next video in this series, so please be sure to subscribe. If you'd like to see my original video about how to do a detox diet, click in the upper left-hand corner. And if you'd like to see my video, Are Food Chemicals Killing You? For a little bit more information about the chemicals in our food, you can click in the upper right corner. And to see my video about the top 10 superfoods we should be eating, you can click in the lower left-hand corner. And to see my video about the difference between whole versus processed foods, you can click in the bottom right.